What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Keith one-time Thurman. Keith Thurman goes off on Floyd Money Mayweather, and he stated that Floyd straight out ducked him, and this is what he had to say.
Well, I've always thought, why not me, Floyd? Why not me? You never wanted to fight me? Come on now. I was right there, right underneath you for years. I was the #1 contender at the WBA. And then they made you super champ so that our names didn't have to be in the same sentence together. Because a super champion does not have to fight a regular champion. I don't have to fight Manny Pacquiao. There is no mandatories for a super champion. And the only super champion before me was Floyd Mayweather, you know. Obviously, you know, Floyd fights for the money, man, the money team. You know, it ain't hard to figure people out. I don't have to sit down and have a conversation. We don't have to go to the club together. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, I get the man. He's about making that paper, man. If he wanted a real fight, he would have saw me years ago. He, Manny.
That is the words of Keith one-time Thurman. So, you know, Keith said that Floyd ducked him. Floyd, he avoided Keith one-time Thurman. And if he wanted a real fight, he would have fought him at that time, years ago. Now, what I have to say about that is Keith Thurman, me counterpunching this, I think he's absolutely right. I think Floyd ducked Keith Thurman. I think Floyd kind of outstaged or downplayed that fight by throwing Errol Spence as a decoy, and that's what Floyd did. So there's no surprise there. Yes, he did that. He fought Andre Berto, a guy that had 4 losses on his record, versus an undefeated guy which could have actually put the stank and the stamp on his legacy. But he didn't want to do it. He was worried about money, and he was worried about not losing. That's what he was worried about. But unfortunately, if all you concerned of, or if your biggest fear is not losing, you don't fight the best fighters to get really acknowledged as the best winner or the best fighter. And he didn't do that. He just didn't take that risk. And I think his legacy paid for it. But again, like Keith Thurman said, that Floyd is all about the money. And he is. He is all about the money, you know, but Floyd, being who he is, you know, he used his position to duck Keith one-time Thurman. You could hear Floyd, you know, well, I said it before. I take nothing away from him. He's a good fighter. He just wasn't on my level. You know, he wasn't a big enough draw. So, you know, we went in another direction. You know, simple as that. I think he should fight Errol Spence. I think that those guys should match it up. You know, again, you know, there's levels to this. You know, that's Floyd. Floyd wasn't going to take no risk because Floyd's not dumb. Floyd knows he's an agent fighter. Floyd knew if he would have got in there, that would have been a very risky fight. However, I would have loved to see it, to see what Floyd still had left. That's why, me counterpunching this, that's why Roy Jones Jr. will always be better than Floyd to me in my book. Because Roy took on all comers. He didn't take on the fights that were the less risky, you know, and thought about the money, thought about his record, thought about this image that he was trying to protect. I know he did it for different reasons because there were people that were against him other than what he did in the ring. You know what I mean? I get that. But he did duck Keith one-time Thurman. Now, this is what I have to say about Thurman, though. And listen to what else he said in this interview. There's more.
After Manny Pacquiao, I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of done for the year. And I know that there's a lot of big fights out there. I'm not new to this sport. I want to see the welterweight division unfold. I know that Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. are most likely my big money fights in 2020. I am very open to those contracts. But after the fight, man, I don't know if I'm going to really do a call out. I want to watch the welterweight division unfold, and then maybe in about 3 months, you'll start hearing me. Maybe I'll have to come to you and drop the bomb on TMZ, who Keith Thurman wants to fight next.
And that's what he said about this fight. See, if you noticed, he said he wasn't going to call anybody out. He said he said, honestly, I'm done for this year. And I look at it, I'm like, okay, this is July. I think he fought in March or February. Now he's fighting in July, Manny Pacquiao. And he's not doing anything else for the rest of the year. Why? That's a little unbalanced to me. Yet it seems like, okay, yeah, I know your 2 fights, but look how they're spaced out. You're fighting in, I don't remember his fight with Josecito Lopez. I think it was either February or March. Now you're fighting in July. Now you're not doing anything for the next, 6 months? That's weird. That's real strange to me, right? But he knows what his money fights is, Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. But he wants to see it unfold. Here's the problem. You have to make it unfold because you are a part of the process. You can't watch other fighters. Let's see what they do. You know what I mean? No, you shouldn't see what they do. You should see what you should plan for yourself. Who do you want to fight? Now, he could have said, well, no, let me worry about Pacquiao first. No, he didn't say that. He just said, after this fight, I'm done for this year. I ain't fighting nobody. You know, and I'm like, wow. Okay. Now, to go back to Floyd and how he was talking about Floyd, how Floyd ducked him, which I agree with. However, you cannot blast a guy for ducking you and then you turn around and do the same shit. You can't do that. It makes your argument make no sense. Totally contradicting. That's what it makes it, people. Because you're talking about Floyd ducked me and he didn't want this and he didn't want to fight me. You'd have fought me years ago. But then yet you ducked Errol Spence when Floyd did bring that. When he did plant that seed of Errol Spence in your career. You ducked that fight when Errol Spence was ready to fight you, when he was a world champion. He still ducked him to this day. Right? Bud Crawford, same shit. But he can't stop talking about Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows those guys are legitimate threats. And I give both of those guys of beating Keith one-time Thurman. You know what I mean? Especially Bud Crawford, because he has a different way of fighting and he knows how to adjust to certain fight styles. You know, Keith Thurman, he might go on survival mode. But fighting someone like Terrence Crawford is kind of hard to do because he can turn it on when he wants to, and then he can chill and box when he wants to. He can switch stances on you. He can give you a whole different dynamic in there. But as far as Keith Thurman, you can't talk about Floyd if you picked up that torch of ducking people and carrying that shit on up the stairs, right? Because that's what Keith's doing. I want to see how it unfolds. You're a part of this process. You're supposed to help it unfold. You know, by picking another worthy opponent. This is your get back year. You think this is what it is? You know, that's why, as much as I like Keith's outspokenness, it's like you could read right through the bullshit. He just likes to talk. And he likes to do more talking than fighting. He used to want to fight more. I get it. Floyd, he scorned him, but then he educated him at the same time. See, that really hurt Keith one-time Thurman's career and in his mind because he wanted to fight the legend, to take out the legend. Now he has an opportunity against Manny Pacquiao to do the same thing, similar thing. But how he looks at it, he's still butthurt because he's not satisfied with what he has in this opportunity in front of him. He still wants to talk about Floyd. But in the same breath, oh, I don't know if I'm going to fight anyone this year. Okay, you're just going to keep avoiding the tough fights. You're going to do what you accused Floyd of doing. That makes no sense. For that reason, it sounds good. But if you're doing the same thing, shut up. You just learn from the best how to duck the best and not fight the best. Therefore, it doesn't make you the best. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.